Next on the show, we're going to speak to Spurs fan. George is with us now. Another disappointing day at the office for Spurs fans. What are you saying, mate?
As you said, another disappointing day at the office. It's far too similar as to what's happened far too many times this season. I mean, the front three, they are what I like to think one of the best front threes in Europe, not alone let alone the league, just haven't been themselves. We created so many chances today. We actually played good, as despite what other people might say, we actually played good football. We broke them down. We created so many chances, but we just couldn't find that final touch. We couldn't finish our dinner. And I heard Jess say earlier about our players look tired. I don't think that they look tired because as in physically they were running and there was a lot of pressing and we actually pressed a lot more than we did in other games, but mentally I hear you, because on the first touch a lot of players looked a bit leggy. They looked like they weren't mentally just that sharpness. They weren't ready to play in that game. And I was just far too disappointed in too many players. Again, similar to Arsenal, it just wasn't a great performance all round. We needed to do just that little bit extra, and we were missing that individual quality. So players like Kane, players like Son, they needed to step up today, and they failed to do that yet again. It's the Champions League. It's looking a bit funky for Conte as well, because now his record is looking even worse. And I'm hearing we haven't won an away game in Europe in what 7 games? Our last 7 games we haven't won in away in Europe, which is it's a horrible stat. It's stunning because the teams we've played
Yeah.
aren't amazing. They really aren't amazing. We should be getting results, and it's just not good enough.
I totally agree. I mean, I'm being called out right now by a few Spurs fans on Twitter. They think I've got an agenda because I felt you underperformed tonight. And I think this season's been the first time in a while, and you were very honest on Saturday, but I've heard this from a lot of Spurs fans. They believe they had some Spurs fans believe they had multiple and better opportunities than Arsenal on Saturday, and I'm seeing Spurs fans say you did have some opportunities tonight, but when you have only 11 shots on target against an inferior team and only 2 on target, I don't see how anyone can call that performing well. I don't know about you. Like, you've got you didn't work the goalkeeper, so at the end of the day, you're a superior team with a world-class manager with 2 or 3 of the best forwards in the Champions League. To not test their goalkeeper, like I would, if that was Man United, I'd say we underperformed. I don't know about you.
Yeah, no, that's where it is for me. For me, like we looked better, and that's why people say we played good, because we didn't concede so much of the ball like we have in the past couple of games. But we didn't finish our chances. We didn't have enough shots on goal. We didn't test the keeper enough, and when we was in those right positions, we just weren't taking the shots. I feel like our team is lacking confidence, and I know that I feel like we're missing Kulu. I feel like Kulusevski needs to come back. Once he comes back, our team does look a bit more clinical. He's a bit more clean with the dribbling, and he can take players on a lot better and force us up the pitch, because Son and Richarlison, they look like they can't take a man on at the moment. I really don't know what's going on. And yeah, go on, Jess.
Do you feel like the way that you guys play, the Conte style, where it's kind of like against Frankfurt, you didn't concede as much possession as you did against Arsenal, but the way that you play, do you feel like you guys almost have to be perfect because there's a limited amount of chances, and you have elite level strikers, but it puts pressure on them to be really, really clinical, and sometimes not having enough chances might be the reason why you don't, make your benchmarks what you want to do this season? How do you feel about that?
It does make sense. I mean, we are definitely a team that doesn't create a lot of chances in general, and we do rely on the clinicalness of our players. But I feel like in the games that we have lost, say the Arsenal game and this game, I feel like we put ourselves in, and Conte set us up to play well, and we put ourselves in the good positions. We were just lacking the individual quality. So you are right in some games that when the individual quality is lacking, that's probably going to be the reason we fall short. But we expect the players that we have, those world-class players, and Harry Kane and Son, to not lack that individual quality, especially in the big moments, and especially in the Champions League. They need to turn up. And even the chances we missed, Son, I mean, he scored the exact chance that he missed. He scored that against Man City a few years ago. I saw him do it. Like, these are chances that these guys put away game in, game out. He done it against Leicester, and they were just off tonight. So, and another day, it's a different story. But today, yeah, it wasn't good enough.
Here you on that. Listen, bro, I appreciate you coming on, mate, and having your say. I do, and that's always hard to do when it's not the right result. I've had many of them myself in recent years. It's shit. But listen, you take care, George, and I'm sure we'll speak later in the week, bro.